Hey, John here with Marshall Motor Freight. So today we're going to do the head on the air compressor, because what's happening is, wait a minute, what's happening is the coolant tank, the expansion tank is building up a lot of pressure. It's not the EGR, it's not compression from the engine running. The way I narrowed it down to being the head leaking or putting air into the coolant system is when it's not cycling, as in when the air compressor is not building pressure, or cycling to basically about to release pressure. There's always building pressure, but when the air dryer is cycling basically and this cap is off, this starts to fill up and then overflows. Once that stops cycling, this is normal. The other issue I was having is the truck will run fine, it wouldn't overheat, but overnight, you let it sit overnight and basically coolant will leak from all these hose clamp ends, and these holes will be like rock hard. So I narrowed it down to being the head that's pumping air into the coolant system. So we're going to do the head, and I'm not going to show step by step because I don't have my tripod to hold the camera. Plus, I mean, you get the idea. So yeah, we got to take off these fittings. We're gonna pinch these hoses. It's a hose back there. We're gonna pinch off. Of course, we're gonna take the air cleaner and the intake off. This right here is gonna be a challenge because, as you can see, it's pretty rusty. So that might be a challenge to get off. I'm hoping to do this without having to back off the compressor, but one of the head bolts I think might be underneath this thermostat housing, so we'll figure it out. But we're gonna have to do what we gotta do. So that's what it is. That's where we at. So let's get started. Okay, so I got the air compressor out. It's out of the truck. See, got these coolant lines pinched off. Spilled a little bit of oil, but we'll clean that up. I already have 3 of these head bolts broken off. I mean, well, loose, not broken, loosened. And of course, I'm gonna clean this up. So now I'm gonna finish. So I got these 3 loose already, so I need to loosen up these other 3, and then we can pop the head off. I need to get these fittings off, and yeah, then we'll swap it out, put the new one on. All right, so I have all the head bolts loose, so now we're gonna pop the head off. So I got my rubber mallet. There it is. Let's look at that. All that carbon and oil buildup. And like I said, so when the compressor's running, it's pushing air into these holes, was sucking in, compressing the air, and then running it through these chambers inside. Coolant is going in through here. Coolant goes in through the top, runs through here to keep the head cool and out. And there's passages inside. And the gasket right here fails, or can fail. In my case, I'm pretty sure it failed, and so air compressed air is getting into the cooling system and is pressurizing the cooling system and causing all kinds of problems. So I'm gonna clean the top of these pistons up and then put the new head on. So that's where we'll continue the video when I'm putting the head on. Okay, so here's the new head. Gotta cut that zip tie off. It's the new head, new O-ring. Compare that to the old one. Of course, this is the original. Of course, I cleaned up the top of the pistons. Remember, I know I didn't show them to you, but they were all carboned up. Basically, they were black with a couple layers of carbon on them. So cleaned those up. So that should run way more efficiently. And now we're gonna pop the head on. This kit comes with new head bolts, of course. I do have the torque specs and torque sequence. So you gotta tighten the head bolts in 2 stages. Alright, so there's a torque sequence. And as you see, the first tight is 15 to 20 Newton meters. They repeat that sequence to a final torque of 30 to 33 Newton meters. 20 Newton meters is about 14 foot-pounds, and 33 Newton meters is a little over 20 something foot-pounds. Or you can just look it up online to do a conversion. There's some other, you probably can't see that technical stuff. So we're gonna get to torquing this down. And just in case you're wondering, yes, this is heavy. Yes. Make sure these are tight. Alright, so that was the first. I'm gonna do it again. Alright, so it's in there. Got the hoses hooked up. The line's hooked up. I didn't test run it yet because I still have to hook up the intake. But just want to show you what's in there.
2 days later.
Alright, so it's been like a day or two. I had a chance to run the truck, drive it, let it sit overnight. And as you see, the coolant is still at its normal level, max level. Usually this will leak down overnight. Usually it will leak from this hose. It will push out of that hose. Coolant will leak out of that hose. It will leak out of that hose. This is beforehand. This is before I put the new head on. That overnight coolant will push out because of the pressure leaking from the air compressor. So I think that's what did the trick. So if you have that issue where your coolant system is building up pressure, and you tested the EGR, see if that's leaking, and you did a compression test to see if it's leaking from your cylinder, your engine, and it's neither one of those. It could be your air compressor that's leaking. So either put a brand new compressor on, or you can just do the head like I did. I'll put links below this video for where I got the head on Amazon. But I'll put a link below this video for a Volvo D12 air compressor head, and a list of the various tools I needed, like stuff that a normal person wouldn't have. I mean, I'm gonna put on there a 9/16 wrench, but the special stuff that you might need for this job, I'll put down there. So yeah, if you got some value out of this video, comment, like, share. See you next time.